and welcome to another episode of Soaperstar. So nice to see you guys back again. So today I thought we'd do something a little fun again. One of my son's favorite soaps in the whole wide world is my cookies and cream soap. Well, what kid does not love cookies and cream? I have to tell you, this one just flies off the shelves every time I make it. And it's just tons of fun. It's great. I have a nephew who really doesn't like to shower. And when I gifted him one of these soaps, he always goes to me, Ninang, Ninang, let's shower. So I'm very excited to share this wonderful recipe and this technique that I do when I make my cookies and cream soap. Hope you enjoy. So for today's recipe, we are going to use some olive oil for this recipe. Olive oil, it is actually olive oil pomace. Make sure to put all those oils in there nice and well. We are going to use some coconut oil, wonderful for bubbles, wonderful for cleansing. Pour that all in there. We've got some sustainable palm oil. This is readily available. You can find it in brambleberry.com or essentialdepot.com. I mean, I can post some links, but sustainable is something that we strongly believe in at Soaperstar. Sustainable always. Cocoa butter. This is just one of my favorite oil butters actually. It does wonders hardening a soap. It smells delightful when you're working with it. And it's just got so many antioxidant properties. Sweet almond oil is another one of my personal favorites. It just is great. It's got tons of vitamin E and it's wonderful for your skin. And finally, I like to work with castor oil. Castor oil is well known to add nice, luxurious, big, fat bubbles in your soap. So I always pretty much make every recipe I can using even just a hint of castor oil. So once all your oils are mixed, you will have your lye water. So again, you just have to slowly pour your lye water in as you're mixing it in. Just take your time while doing it. Soaping is not a race. Well, that is until you reach trace and you have to rush, right? But just casually, slowly mix it in there. And boom, boom. Once your lye water is nice and mixed in with these oils, it's time to reach a trace. So for today, the trace we're looking for will be a light trace because we will be doing drop swirl technique. So now once we've mixed our water, lye, and oils all together, we want to try to reach saponification. We want to reach a light trace because this particular design, we are going to be doing drop swirl techniques, okay? So let's get this started. Right, now that we've already mixed in the lye, the water, and the oils, and it's definitely getting a bit thick in trace, we're gonna separate a little bit of this batter just so that we have some for the piping later. So we've got to put aside roughly about 1,000 over here. Yeah, maybe even a little bit less. We don't need that much for piping. And the rest we're going to use for the base of the soap now. Okay, so this is going to be the white part. So we want to at least add about 1,000 here. This is what we're going to make white. We're going to drop swirl this soap with some brown accents. So this is going to be the base where we're going to be drop swirling the soap. And these ones are the browns we're going to be drop swirling the soap to. So we'll do it at 300 for this, 300 for this color, 300 as well for this color. And a little bit more so that we have 3 different drop swirl colors, just to add a bit of variety. So we're gonna go ahead now and start mixing in these colors. This is all soap here, so I always like to really scrape in this soap really well. The only thing is you need some muscles to do this. This stuff is heavy. Okay. So, okay. So, let's add our... Today we are going to be using bronze brown mica powder from naturalsoap. And the way we're going to do this is we are going to add some bronze brown, a little bit over here, so a little bit here, then a little bit less here, and a little bit even less over here. So it's gonna look like we have different kinds of shades of brown. Okay? So the secret here is we're just gonna mix this on in here. So we mixy, 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 mixy. This is actually gonna create like a brown, which will give nice accents for the drop swirl. So as you can see, it's becoming more brown, more brown, more brown. Then we're gonna mix this one in here. So because it's cookies and cream, I don't really want the darkest of dark colors. I do want a bit of lighter. So as you can see, this one came out a little bit not as brown as the other one. And the reason why I am not darkening it so much is because I'm also adding cookies and cream fragrance oil. Cookies and cream fragrance oil is naturally gonna turn this dark because of the vanillin content. That's why I don't really need a very deep dark brown, because the vanillin is already going to naturally make this dark. The only thing I have to do as well is make sure this is white. So I've already dispersed some Nurture's white pigment mica as well, because I want to turn this into a very white. This is going to be our base again. So we want it kind of white because this is supposed to be like the cream part of it. So as you can see, when I'm doing this, it's coming up whiter and whiter. I think I want it a little bit whiter still. I'm pretty happy with everything. Now it's time to pour away. So now we've got all our colors all laid out. We are going to be using today Cookies and Cream Pie Fragrance Oil from Crafter's Choice. Again, this has a high vanillin content. So whatever browns we use or where we put it, it's gonna discolor our soap. So I will actually not be putting it today in the white section because I do not want the white section. I will be putting on this part. On this part, again, just eyeball it. You know, it's just gonna be, and it's gonna be going around in there, and you've gotta mix everything in here well, and make sure it gets all nice and mixed up in here. You've gotta mix everything in here very well. Mix everything in there very well. The color discoloration won't happen right away. It happens over time, especially once you cut the soap. That's really when you'll start seeing it discolor. So the first thing you're gonna have to do when you start your pour is you go ahead and you pour this first layer in. Yeah, look at that. So that's gonna pretty much be our cream color. So we are gonna pour a little bit high because we want to be going deep in. We don't want superficial swirls. That's why it's called a drop swirl. So you'll be going up high and you will be pouring this in here. Whoop, 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 whoop. Pouring, pouring. You guys can't imagine how delicious this smells. This is the darker color. So again, high up high, high up high, making some pretty cool swirls over here. So that's our first layer. So now again, we will be pouring another layer of white. So this will be superficial. See how low I'm going? I'm going pretty low. That way it doesn't really mix in with the layer below it. So it will actually look like there's 2 layers of drop swirls going on here. So I'm gonna be scraping this all in here. Scraping this all in here because this is all lovely, delicious soap. Yup, all of this is soap. Let's not let it go to waste. So in here we go. Going in there. All jumping in there. There we go. Get in there. Get out. Get out. Get out. There. So at this point, what I'm going to do is I'm going to bang this. Banging it is great because it gets out all those air bubbles. Now again, I will be doing a less superficial swirl. So do you see how I'm not going as deep anymore? So this one is going to create different swirls on a new and higher up layer. So again, we wanna go ahead and just kind of drop it in there. So as you can see, it's still a lighter kind of caramel brown, but you'll be amazed. The final product is actually gonna be a much darker brown. Look at that chocolate. It smells delicious. You guys can't imagine how delicious this really smells. So again, I will be scraping up everything over here. Whee! Remember, soaping is just about having fun. I mean, there's just no perfect way to do any technique. Everything is just all about your imagination and what you want to do. So at this point, my soap is pretty much coming up to what I've been imagining it to be. So we're done with that. We're going to be pouring again this light layer. We want to make sure that every bar gets a little bit of this color. So you always want to properly disperse your colors throughout the whole loaf. So this is done as well. We've got this part here. And wow, does that not look like a delicious bar of chocolate right now? I mean, my goodness. You really could make a mistake and eat this, which would be really bad for you, so don't do that. So we're done now with all our pouring. I'm gonna give it one last tap again because the next part is the fun part. We're gonna be piping the soap and decorating it. So off to the next. So at this point, we have waited a little long enough for our piping batter to set. So we are ready to pipe. I had a little bit fun swirling with the soaps because I was waiting for my batter to set. Too bad it won't be seen, but anyway. So I'm gonna start first. So at this point, I just realized that we want it to look a little bit more like there's like little cookie bits in the soap. So we are gonna be adding fresh coffee grounds. These are important. You can just make a fresh batch of coffee. Do not use unused coffee grounds because if not, it's gonna end up bleeding in the soap. You wanna make sure you use freshly used coffee grounds. So you just wanna kind of mix it, and this is gonna be my batter. So you kind of just mix it in there, and you just need a little bit to give it this cookies and cream look. Okay, so that's it. So now you're going to be able to see the difference of what it looks like with the coffee grounds. So now that we've got this very delicious base going, we are now going to start putting on the embeds. I pre-made these Oreo embeds They're just melt and pour, scented in the delicious cookies and cream scent. So let's get to it. We're gonna be placing the final touches. Okay, we want to make this look extra cookies and creamy. So again, I'm just getting my ground coffee grounds and I am just sprinkling this on top, just like this. See, dribble, 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 dribble. That's way it looks really like we're putting some crushed up cookies up here, right? So we just go ahead and drizzle. These are actually just ground coffee. Isn't that amazing what things can look like? All you have to do is get creative and you'd be amazed what you could come up with. Doesn't that look quite delicious, I might say? And I have to say that this smells pretty heavenly. I think it could fool anyone. I've actually been in bazaars where I've had kids come run up and just want to bite my soap, which led me to start wrapping them up properly. Okay. And voila! This is the final touch. We now have a cookies and cream soap. And there you have it, my version of cookies and cream soap. Doesn't it look so delicious? And it smells absolutely amazing. These bars will take about 4 to 6 weeks to cure. So stand by. This is my version of a cookies and cream soap, scented in delicious cookies and cream. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Of course, these soaps, we will be cutting them up and I will be showing you the cut at the end of this video. If you do want to purchase these soaps, of course, they are available for purchase at www.soaperstar.ph. We are also on Instagram. We are also on Facebook. And if you enjoyed this video, please subscribe to this YouTube channel. I definitely plan to upload more. Hope you enjoyed this. Bye.